What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having an absolutely fantastic day. I know I am, and if you are, you need to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam. You'll get kidnapped by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and be forced to eat sewer pizza for the rest of your life. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is in fact imperative that you press the like button unless you enjoy a good sewer pizza, which if you do, I'm not judging. Anyways, guys, what's going on? Today I have a pretty interesting story for you guys involving teachers jumping out the windows. Okay, yes, I guess some classes are actually bad enough where the teacher takes a look out the window and says, a 40-foot fall is still better than dealing with these creatures, and jumps out. You know, every now and then I guess that happens. And the subscriber who sent me this story said I could tell it, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So big shout out to you guys. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into a class so bad that teachers are literally willing to jump out the window. Let's get into it. So I had a history teacher that had just moved here from China, you know, and he was a really nice guy, but he didn't really have that focusing gene. There wasn't much inside of him that made him super adept to staying on track while teaching the class, you know. He was that teacher where you could walk in and be like, hey man, did you see the new Avengers movie? And the next thing you know, you spend the next hour learning about, you know, how Tony Stark made the ultimate sacrifice instead of what you're actually supposed to be learning about, which is really, really, really great if you're a kid who knows how to distract people and get them talking, but not very good if you're a teacher whose job relies on your performance, you know what I mean? So the class doesn't really learn much because we're always distracting him and avoiding doing work as much as humanly possible. And the guy, obviously not super used to American school systems because he had just been teaching in China for 20 years, isn't really aware of the fact that, like, you know, we're just messing with him to basically avoid learning things we're actually supposed to be learning. Because one day I walk into class and the dean is sitting there, and it was supposed to be one of those, like, surprise, we're gonna pop in and watch the class to make sure that your teaching methods are going good. And I don't think that the teacher kind of realized it was coming because he is beet red and, like, shocked, all right? He is literally just sitting there like, oh no, out of every class the dean could come watch, it has to be this one where I've spent the last 8 months teaching these kids how to style their hair like Beethoven featuring TikToks. Anyways, the dean watches that class and leaves, you know, and we don't really think much of anything of it. We didn't change how we were behaving at all, so we still weren't paying much attention. We were trying to get him off track, and the poor guy is, like, doing his best to keep this class under control. Now, me personally, I was trying my best to stay quiet and be better, but what I'm saying when I say we were loud, like, the class was loud. The class didn't change what they were doing. I tried my best to, you know, be on my best behavior because I don't want my teacher to get in trouble, especially the one that lets us do whatever we want, you know what I mean? But whatever, the dean leaves and he's pissed because his class was just, like, super loud and not very good in front of the dean. Like, it did not make him look very good. So he was, like, pissed that we weren't paying attention and made him look bad in front of his boss, and he says, you know what, that's it, I want to jump out the window. Like, you guys are so disrespectful and you guys are trying to ruin my job. Like, the one time you guys could have acted like a normal class when my boss was here, you guys couldn't even do that for me. All you care about is yourselves. You guys are so selfish. And one of the kids in the class who thought he was a comedian decides to go over to this window, and it's like on, like, the second story of the school. I don't know why they are allowing those to open. I feel like that's a really bad idea. Letting windows be open on, like, the second floor of the school is probably not the best. So whatever, the kid, like, thinks he's being funny. He sticks one leg out the window and he goes, oh, I'm about to jump, like, to try to make the class laugh. And, you know, everybody's laughing and the teacher's getting more red because he now, you know, he's thinking that we're making fun of him, saying that he's gonna jump out the window. So he, like, pulls the kid out of the window and then jumps out the window. Like, jumped out the window, just boom. And then the weirdest part is, you know, when after jumping out the window, you think there would be, like, screaming or people freaked out, but the entire class is, like, dead calm, all right? This man had just calmly said, no, child, please step away from the window. It's time for a man to do what a man has to do, and then jumped out the window. And I guess they were on the second floor, but, like, the reality of it was that he had stepped and basically fallen, like, 3 feet onto this little overhang thing that blocked the rain from getting on you. So he jumps out the window, and the entire class is just standing there looking at him, and he's just standing there, and instead of coming back in the window, he just goes, I'm done, and, like, walks off and crawls down, somehow gets down from this little overhang thing and, like, left that day, just doesn't come back. And so the entire class is kind of in shock and not responding at all, and I think that's why the class doesn't freak out, is because you don't expect your teacher to just be like, alright boys, I'm out, and Tifu out the window and, like, just not return, you know, just, I'm leaving, I'm done. I can't believe that you guys are so disrespectful. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I would literally rather jump out of a window than ever deal with teaching you kids again. I think that would make me shut my mouth too. I ain't gonna lie, that's a little bit of fear put inside of my Jimmy Johns. But the weirdest part is, after jumping out the window and basically quitting his job, walking away, I walk into class the next day expecting to see a sub or, maybe the dean coming in and being like, I'm taking over since you guys are, so far behind where you're supposed to be because your teacher has been teaching you nothing but, Marvel Cinematic Universe secrets instead of whatever we're paying him to teach you. Like, so now I have to come save the day. I was expecting something, but nope, sure enough, sitting right there in his chair is the teacher again and acting like nothing happened. He doesn't say anything to the class. He doesn't, go, hey, we have to address the elephant in the room. Like, we didn't just witness this grown man jump out the window and leave the school because he was so fed up with our class. No, he's just acting like nothing ever happened. So he's just sitting there and the entire class comes in and is shocked that the guy is here, and it gets really quiet. He says, all right, are you ready to start the class? And everybody, myself included, most of the good kids are like, yeah, all right, things have gone a little bit too far. I like to mess around as much as the next guy. All right, I really enjoy talking about Marvel movies as much as the next guy, but I don't want this poor man to lose his job and have his life ruined because I really like talking about superheroes, okay? I'm a good enough person to do that. The only problem is not everybody in the world is a good enough person to do that. There's a lot of people out there that are like, man, I don't really care if this bro has to move all the way back to China. That's not even my problem, dude. My problem is I don't want to be here, so I'm gonna cause some issues. So obviously this dude is stressed out, and the two kids that caused the most problems in this class, bless their heart, it was pretty entertaining most of the time, but the two kids that would always take it a bit too far and just make it not funny anymore, the type of people that would walk in, see this man close to a mental breakdown, and then laugh and get ready to ruin him even more, yeah, those kids weren't there yet. So they walk in about a minute late, and the door was still open, so the teacher says, hey, Matthew, can you close the door? And Matthew was with his friend Peter, and Peter was African American, and Peter, in a fit of trying to make a joke, I really don't think he was trying to cause this dude to have a mental breakdown at all. I really don't. I think he was just trying to say a harmless joke. He goes, oh, can I not do it because I'm black? And the teacher, in his infinite wisdom, snaps and goes, yes, it's because you're black. Now sit down. And I don't know if the teacher really meant that or what, but all I know is that someone happened to be taking a Snapchat at that time, all right? And as soon as they realized what they had just recorded, they saved that video. Not a very nice thing to do. This poor guy, dude. I wonder what he's up to these days. I hope he's sitting back in China with a class that loves and respects him and gives him foot massages on the daily, because the person who gets the video decides that they're going to report it to the dean because the teacher was being racist, which, I mean, look, it's dumb, but I really don't think that it was like that. I think everybody was just making a dumb joke, except the joke happened to not be a very funny joke because it's not something funny, but you guys get the idea. So she goes to the dean and reports him for being racist. And this poor guy gets in trouble and gets suspended from teaching his class for a week. And at this point, I'm like, all right, guys, it's kind of not funny anymore. I get it. Yes, it's crazy that he jumped out the window. It's crazy that he just got suspended. But when he comes back, maybe we should just listen, let him teach his job, and, stop causing problems. Because the girl who had give the video to the deans had purposely cut the audio so you couldn't hear him laughing afterwards and being like, oh, I'm just kidding. She had cut it off so it just sounded like, randomly he's like, yes, you're black. Out of nowhere it snapped at it. So the context is removed, and, he probably should have gotten in trouble. But the girl definitely made it worse than it actually was in reality, and the kid who he said it to wasn't even that mad at all. He was like, oh, whatever, and went and sat down. It was not that big of a deal to anyone except the girl who made it a big deal. So the guy comes in after being suspended for a week or a couple days or whatever, obviously upset, knows that our class reported him, knows that our class got him in trouble, knows that anything he say is probably being recorded, knows this poor guy really, really can't catch a break. So he starts trying to teach us, and sure enough, the kids in the back who really don't care at all start talking and interrupting him and causing all these problems, and this grown man, guys, starts crying. He starts crying and he's like, you guys never listened to me. Back in China, my students were so much more respectful. I don't know why you guys are so rude to me. I don't know what I did to you. And I feel horrible. I've been trying to behave my best ever since I realized the guy was really having a rough time. But I definitely laughed at some of the stuff that's going on. So I feel like a terrible person because I'm just over it, And the guy's like, I'm over this. I can't teach in America anymore. I'm going back to China because I can't handle this tremendous pressure, grabs his stuff, walks out the door, like slams the door behind him, and we just hear him like crying walking down the hallway. And that was the last time that I ever saw my teacher. So basically, my class caused a teacher to have a mental breakdown, jump out the window, come back, try to make things normal, get in more trouble after that, came back, didn't get listened to again, had a mental breakdown, and literally moved to China. So the moral of the story is that my class was so bad I made somebody move back across the world. Yeah, not too proud of that one. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the video. And today's notification shout out goes to the one, the only Luca Big Pants. Thank you for having notifications on. If you guys want a notification shout out, turn them on. Send a screenshot to my Instagram at Scrubby or my Twitter at Scrubby_69. And on that note, have yourselves a beautiful day. Cop some merch if you want. Use code Scrubby at the G Fuel checkout. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. I'm out. Peace.